Geeks and Gamers, man, I'm here with True Gamer Goggins. We're at Adepticon 2016 with Hyacinth Games. The whole crew is here for the show. That's how important it is. It's Matt and Anton. I actually don't know Anton's last name. He's just a writer. He's not important. Well, he doesn't bring any money to us.
he's the guy that does 80% of the work. He's not
Yeah, he does. In other words, he's the slave. Oh my God. It's a good group of guys. And they made Rec Age. They kickstarted it about 3 years ago now.
Yeah, 4, I think. I think 4 at this point.
Was it that early?
Yeah, it was a while ago, man.
I didn't think you guys were one of the first guys I talked to.
Yeah, we talked at Gen Con.
That was the one.
Yeah, Gen Con.
We're old friends.
And new gamers. So, gosh, you guys have done a lot since then. We've got books in print now, which you didn't have last time we talked. We actually have a whole model line for the public, which
120 scopes. 120 scopes.
So a lot of pictures. We got a lot of stuff in development, and things are working well.
4 full factions, right?
Correct. We got the Reclaimers, Stitchers, Stakers, and Drifters. The Drifters are nomadic prison gangers, the descendants of prison gangers, splintered into smaller tribes after they all kind of banded together and went from prison to prison, liberating people after the collapse. So our game is set in a post-collapse world as opposed to a straight classic post-apocalypse world. There's no nuclear explosions. It's more of a gradual decline, and all of the powers that be decided to leave for another planet. So,
And not come back and
take care of everybody. So, and then we have the Reclaimers, who are tech zealots. They believe that technology is their birthright, and all that.
So Reclaimers trying to reverse engineer, get back to where we were. Stitchers are actually holdouts from before the collapse. They've using the medical technology. It's a couple hundred years in the future. There's some good sci-fi elements to it, and
they're creepy.
They're creepy. They're very. They'll graft your organs and make it so they can live in perpetuality. But they're pretty. There are bad guys, I would say.
They're kind of like living vampires.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, I think that's.
And the Stakers are our other group, are more of your pioneer aesthetic. So they are figuring out how. So now it's a resurgence after that collapse. It's starting to get better. So you can start having communities where they're figuring out crop rotation and things like that. That makes them sound totally boring, but they're fun.
They're kind of middle of the road in terms of power and shooting.
I would say they're a baseline stat. They're humans doing their best to make another game. We have Church Fund just came out. We have a couple other factions that are on their way out. There are minis. So those ones we got. Those aren't the big 4 launch ones we have, but there's going to be additional source books and stuff like that.
We're also working on vehicles, so we'll have prototypes for them in the next 30 days. On those, armor that add a lot of options, switch the weapons around. Vehicle schools have been play tested for about 1.5 years, so they're pretty solid. We're getting a lot of feedback. After Adepticon, we're going to go back and make a bunch of changes based on the feedback that we've gotten, and they're a lot of fun. We played a big game yesterday.
I was sadly manning the table yesterday.
Yeah, you missed it. It was fun.
Would you say yesterday's vehicle tournament, which went really well, was the end of vehicle close out?
No, I would say still. I want to work on it for another couple months until we're ready to release the full model. I want them to be as solid as possible. So there's always room for feedback. And even after we've released it, I want people to be able to keep saying, this needs a little tweaking. And if it does, we want to tweak it because we want the game to be as accessible as fun and as playable as possible.
Partnered with Ironheart to do some residents vehicles, actually making our own vehicles. Right now, we a lot of stuff with proxy. We were skittish about doing vehicles because it's expensive. We're still here. So.
They are expensive. They are expensive. Just walking around the hall and look. Jeez, oh man. Yeah, it's smaller than a shoebox, but it's $150.
Ours would be $150.
You can pay $150.
No, we're looking at about $25 to $30, hopefully. Might be a little more.
That's really affordable for me.
And that's what we want. We want it to be affordable. We want the game to be affordable. Our box is $35 now. If you're watching this, make it so the buy-in's about $50. You don't have to spend a paycheck to get into the game.
So if you work at McDonald's, this game's not for you.
Well, less than a paycheck. If you're working full time, even at McDonald's, less than a paycheck.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get sued now.
That's part of why we wrote the gradual collapse, right?
Yeah.
So,
That's right. Well, let's see. Okay, so you talked about some source books. Which is the one that you're working on the most? Which one's closest?
right now, we're working on Shangri-La, which is basically waterborne in LA. The valley's been flooded, so there's still a lot of buildings in the hills. That's been written by John Gordon. It is done. It's in the can. We just need to actually produce it. We're waiting for the writing's all done. The layout has started, but we're still going through. It's been edited. Probably 30 to 45 days we'll be sending it to the game. So it's a full RPG source book. It's got background. It's got some of the main characters in the area. It's got some plot hooks. It's got some scenarios from the tabletop game, and it's also designed for the narrative RPG. Our game is designed with a narrative RPG integrated into the tabletop game. So if you don't want to play the miniatures, you can just play straight narrative RPG. But it's really designed to be kind of a hybrid of the two, where you're playing on the tabletop with a lot of RPG elements. So that's the idea.
And what's the target price point for the source book?
For the Shangri-La source book, I think we're looking at $25.
Yeah, we had
And it's like 120 pages.
Yeah, no, it's pretty beefy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty beefy.
Yeah, no, it's not a short source book. It's a long source book.
And what's the next one?
After that, we'll be doing the Switch, which is Chicago, and Esperanza, which is Mexico City. In terms of RPG content, we're also doing Reckless Wastes, which is going to have all the vehicle rules, a lot of expansions. All 4 of the newer factions is going to have special rules for all that. It's going to have the special scenarios for those factions. And then after that, we've got Close Corporations. So it's going to have a lot of cults and corporate forces left on Earth.
Yeah, there's some people that are kind of like staking out areas and caching supplies in case their overlords come back.
So the economy collapsed.
It wasn't really economical, it was more climate. It's a climate.
Okay, so
Banking.
banking
Yes,
disappeared.
right.
So how do corporations? What do they use as like?
So everyone trades. So the way that the economy works in the game is you're trading resource units. So you can trade a sack of flour, an amount of sack of flour, sack of flour for some weapons, and your sacks of flour might be 2 resource units each, and you might need a gun that's 10 resource units, so you can trade 5 sacks of flour for it. And that's basically how you build your communities. It's how you build your characters. It's how you start your faction. It's how you update your faction. It's how if you take casualties, it's how you replace them. That's by using resources.
Which, for those of you that may not remember, actually it's a little bit beyond a role-playing game. You actually build your community. So imagine an RPG version of like World of Warcraft.
That's fair. Wait, can you build your community in World of Warcraft?
You build your buildings. No, the original World of Warcraft 1.
Yeah, not World.
Not the MMO, not the RPG.
Not World.
Yeah.
Warcraft.
Right. Yeah.
It's
similar. Yeah, it's similar to a real-time strategy.
Yeah.
In that sense. Yeah, exactly.
That's
I just nerd corrected me.
Warcraft was what, 1980?
Excuse me, sir.
I'm not a Warcraft player. I should use StarCraft.
Yeah, no, there's some RPG modules that are coming up too that we're pretty excited about. Like there's already people kicking around with in Shangri-La, the one that John wants. We want to. So he's talking about the big source books, but there's going to be consistent, smaller.
Yeah, we're looking, 16
staccato.
to 24 page modules. We've got like 3 of them.
We have 3, and then there's
there's a couple
3 other people working.
Yeah.
Which is great. Thank you. That jumps in and stuff.
And they can't do it all.
Well, and that's. I mean, our game is a community building game. We're really looking to build a community to actually support the game too. So people can play the game that they want. So if, I talked to someone earlier this week. I think lives in Detroit. He's like, we've got a little bit written on Detroit. I really want to, make my version of Detroit, but I would like to see it happen in your game setting. Yeah, absolutely. We're really looking for that sort of interaction with the people that play the game.
I'm gonna have to hit Hinkley, Ohio, because of the buzzards.
Do it.
I mean, there's some locations that are in our book that were just people that were hey, put my area, and this is what I think there would be, like what kind of community, and it's in the book, fit the print. You know, like we want to, we want to have that kind of like back and forth.
And we publish under Creative Commons, and what that means is that if you want to take the game and remix it under your own version, like you're free to do that as long as it's not commercial, so you're not selling it. But if someone wanted to sell it and it actually fit under, our world, yeah, we totally license it and make it happen. No problem. So that's the kind of stuff we're looking for.
A lot of the people that do the Creative Commons stuff, though, they want to add something that's
It doesn't necessarily
IP.
fit. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily fit.
It's not necessarily
and so,
good.
but as long as they include that it's not commercial, we're protected.
Yeah, share like crazy.
Yeah. Cool.
So with vehicles, are there going to be some armored vehicles?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can up armor your vehicles. Every characters and vehicles have the same kind of armor, and they actually have the same effects on characters and vehicles, light, heavy, and medium. But the way they play is much different than vehicles. They're a lot beefier on vehicles because vehicles have more power.
A lot of them still explode, though. Still a lot of explosions.
There's a lot of crashes,
there's a lot of crashes,
barrel rolls,
yes.
a lot of spin outs. It's a lot. The vehicle rolls are a lot of fun, and it integrates just perfectly with the models on the table. I mean, I feel like it's a really solid integration, and we've gotten that just from playtesting it so much.
So what's next for you guys?
All of
You're
that.
going to Gen Con? Well, yeah.
In terms of conventions.
I'm
Gen Con, we're a little small for Gen Con.
Yeah.
We're a little small for Gen Con. It's
Not
difficult.
running any events?
No, it's too difficult to make it. I mean, we've done it before, and we took a real beating on it. It's just not a small game. It's not a small company-friendly environment. So
Yeah.
So we're
Fortunately, it's a fun con.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going.
it's fun.
I'll see you there, but I'm not going to be there with doing demos. Oh, if I'm lucky.
You haven't seen me in 3 years.
That's true. Fair enough.
I hide.
Not if I see you first. Is that what?
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's just like, if you see me, I'll probably be on the other end of the camera.
No, I mean we'd love to be like doing that. But we're gonna be doing
People
local
have
stuff.
full-time jobs. It's not. I mean, this is a passion hobby.
I would say for event stuff, we're gonna do local stuff and like we do like stuff on Meetup where it's like, hey, we're doing playtesting. It's really good. Like people come out and like come out again to do playtesting, and playtesting to me is not the most fun way to play a game. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, sure.
And it's kind of
But I think people like to have that creative input.
yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that motivates people to do. Yeah, because not everybody has the ability or the time to write their own game. But if you can be a part of something and have some creative input into it, that satisfies the need for learning.
It feels good when they come back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Absolutely. And we've been having a lot of people this year who are coming back like, I picked up your game 2 years ago. I just started to play it. I really like it. So it's a slow process.
I think, I was at Anton Center, and I think Ronnie made a good point. And he was talking specifically about Kickstarter. He said, okay, you buy into this Kickstarter, and we ship you this box. It's like half the size of a pallet, right? And then you unbox it, and you make sure that everything is there.
Right.
And then you make a list of the things that aren't there. And then you put it back in the box, and you set it down, and do nothing with it for like 6 months to a year.
Right.
And he said, he goes, then the next time you pick it up, you intend to do something.
Right.
He says, he thinks that normally 2 times is about when you start doing something. I'm behind the curve.
5 or 6 times.
Wow, we really sidetracked you. So, back to, what else do you guys want to add?
What other questions do you have?
I really don't, because I've played it enough. It's a D6 based game. It's fast, it's furious, it's semi-post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, no, it's
collapse. It's collapse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to correct people when they say post-apocalyptic because it is, but
It's
I mean,
not.
It's our vision of how it happens. It's I mean,
So you want to be like really
But it's not like a
excuse me, you're
nuclear
talking
bomb
about-
went off and made it happen.
No,
It's
but
like
I mean,
we poisoned ourselves.
it's still something that people would when you think about it's dystopian. When you think about the gradual or immediate decline, they're both declines and they're both catastrophes.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to argue with someone for using a synonym.
Correct.
Yeah, excuse me.
I also don't want to argue
No,
with
you
people that are
wouldn't.
interested in my game. That'd be a bad idea.
Yeah, I actually had a couple of people just argue about the game I'm trying to learn from them. It's like, oh, okay.
But that's not a good idea. You don't want to argue with people that are interested in it.
And the beauty of it too is it's really simple.
Yeah, it's a simple system, but there's a lot of it. We've built on a simple system so you can do whatever you want within the world. So, and we tried to give a good framework, and then you can build on that in whatever direction you want.
Now the map that I saw, is that in that book?
Yeah.
It's a great map. It's my favorite map. It's their vision of what the United States looks like.
It's a little wetter.
It's a little wetter than
Well, the dam's all broke.
Yeah.
The beavers died. No,
And
beavers
then
died.
my favorite thing is now capybara have migrated north into like the major food lifestyle. You know capybara, really adorable giant rodents, amphibious,
Okay.
that the archdiocese in like Argentina, they were getting people wanting to say that they were fish and amphibious. But anyway, that everybody ate up all the cows and horses. Now it's a capybara just swum up. They're adorable. Yeah, haunches up to the North America. They're hanging out. You can buy. We have miniatures of them. You can buy them. Rec-age.net. Buy some capybara. I'm done with my teams.
They're great.
it tastes great.
They make burgers.
Tastes like chicken.
It's like maybe. It's too cute to eat. Man. I'd starve.
I wouldn't. Anyway, all right. Wow, I think you're hungry.
Yeah.
So, do you plan on going outside of America anytime soon?
For distribution, we'd love to get some European distribution and Australian distribution. We did have some people picking us up in Australia and Europe, but the shipping is really expensive. We have one distributor in Australia pick us up, but Europe's a hard market to break into. There's so many games over there. The UK too. Mainland Europe and the UK. It's really hard markets to break into. But we have people that order from us, and we sell a lot of PDFs there. So a lot of PDFs there. So people are looking at it, but getting it. That's good. It's that.
This will help.
Yeah, like we had a guy.
But
Like,
the digital stuff is easier, obviously, to get. You know, there's no shipping costs involved, and unfortunately, the U.S. just has very high shipping costs, so it makes it hard to get stuff.
yeah, especially in the last year. Last year we had a guy
Well, the
from
post
Malta.
office is. I don't know if you heard, but the post office is lowering it for the first time. Soon, very soon, 15% across the board.
Like for example, we had a guy in Malta that basically his game group like voted that they're all going to pitch in and they bought a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Because otherwise it was just like arbitrary prices to buy like more boxes.
Right. Yeah. It's not affordable. So,
that's just-
and unfortunately, we just don't have any control over the shipping prices.
Sorry guys.
Cost of costs.
So come to Adepticon.
Yeah. It's a great con.
It's my favorite convention ever.
I will hug you.
That's not a selling point.
Not a silly. We'll keep Matt away from it. But I really meant within the game.
Yeah.
So where are you planning on going after you get on?
Oh,
I totally misunderstood.
Oh,
I totally
no.
misunderstood the question.
Well, we are pretty focused, hyper-focused in North America, or perhaps a little south of East. I'm excited about the Mexico City thing. You guys are doing like, because I'm actually traveling down there pretty soon. Not that I'm working on that project, but I kind of want to maybe put in my 2 cents.
What about American Indians? You been doing anything with them?
Well, the drifters sort of have a little bit of that feel to them. So the tribe, yeah. If you look at the models, they kind of have a little bit. So they've kind of got like a Russian prison gang feel, and then a little bit of
I
like,
get that a lot.
Yeah. So they've got a little bit of that. Like I think it's not written as such necessarily, but kind of all of it is. So they form one big tribe. So all like I'm kind of envisioning the Native American tribes kind of came under that banner in some way or another, and it added to the flavor to it, and then the tribes all splintered into smaller groups and kind of spread out.
That works for me.
We've got some survivalist stuff in the works. Mayan faction, high-tech Mayan faction, down quite a bit. Augments, so bioengineered augments and cybernetic augments. Some larger stuff after the vehicles, but this is all down the road.
Yeah, I would say
A lot of variables.
number one stuff right now is Shangri-La.
Shangri-La, the source books, the vehicles. Now that's going to take us a little bit.
And make more.
Yeah, we've only got one box of that, one blister, so we only have 7 boxes for the faction.
They're a lot of fun.
stop our interview there. All right, guys, thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good 3 hours to what's left of your show.
Yeah.
And thank you guys.
Thank
see
you.
you when I see you, which is probably
Tuesday.
well, you'll see this Tuesday. I won't see you.
And you're talking to each other through the camera.
Exactly. Later.
That's right.